Thank you and good morning. I am Charlotte Reese. I use all pronouns, and I'd like to welcome you to Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship Multi-Platform Worship, where...
Just a second. Yeah. Just pull it down.
Okay.
You're not supposed to do that. That's fine. Yeah, so just start over.
Okay. We all good? Okay. Thank you and good morning. I am Charlotte Reese. I use all pronouns, and I'd like to welcome you to Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship Multi-Platform Worship, where, moved by love, we share lifelong journeys of growth, wonder, and healing, nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today, members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community this morning. If you are new to Bucksmont and visiting us in person today, please stop by our visitor center in the front hallway near where you came in. There you can also make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to our sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and to get connected to our congregation. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number will be shared in the chat box for those online and on screen for everyone now and later in this service. If you would like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, and other ways to gather with our community, you can find that on our homepage of our website, www.bucksmontuu.org. Whether you are a guest, friend, or member, we are glad that you are part of our worship service today. There's a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight these announcements in particular. We are gearing up for a fun and productive year in religious education. Starting September 17th, there will be programming for kids for all ages, but we do need volunteers, adult volunteers, in order for the programs to run. Melissa is specifically looking for the teachers for our elementary students and the volunteers to help with childcare. Please see the website, eVoice, or our e-newsletter for the details on the programs, how to volunteer, and to register your child. Please join us in the social hall after today's service. Merriment has prepared a special treat. We will be serving fruit and yogurt parfaits and a plethora of donut holes for your enjoyment. We are looking forward to seeing everyone there. Starting Thursday, September 14th, and continuing on September 21st and 28th, the Adult Education Committee will be hosting a discussion of Ta-Nehisi Coates' Atlantic article, The Case for Reparations, on Zoom from 7 to 8 p.m. See the eVoice for more details. All kids need age-relevant books that serve as windows, opening onto the world, and as mirrors reflecting their own identities back at them. Despite large numbers of voters, 67%, opposing efforts to remove books from our school libraries, attempts to ban books are accelerating and becoming more divisive in many Bucks County schools. Please join the advocates for inclusive education and Bucksmont's Peace and Justice Committee on Wednesday, September 20th at 5:30 p.m. in our social hall for our phone banking kickoff event. We will begin with a 1-hour training, including scripts and call lists, followed by an hour or so of dialing. This is a fun community event this is a fun community event with pizza and drinks. Thank you.
So I wanted to take a couple of moments to introduce and reintroduce the team serving Bucksmont as staff this year. Change and beginning again are ever-present themes in our lives, and that remains true for those who bring part or all of their work lives here too. We begin with our newest face, Beth Taylor, who could stand up. There you are. You're right there. Great. Beth Taylor, who will be our student minister this program year. She is a seminarian at Lancaster Seminary, and you can get to know her better during coffee hour and in future weeks. She is preaching the last Sunday of September 2. We are excited to welcome her on her journey of ministerial formation. And Barbara Pruninger, Barbara Pruninger served as our religious education coordinator last year and returns this year as our pre-K teacher and will be helping out in a variety of ways in RE this program year. Barbara. Melissa Sparinger is our new Director of Religious Education. She could not be here today, but will be with us next week as we start our RE program officially, and we will welcome her to this new role, which she began last month, formally at that time. Beverly Vitek. If you want to stand, please. Beverly is our office administrator. She is the person you most likely get to work with during the week if you call or come by our fellowship building. She started a month before me, and we are a better, more organized congregation for her being with us. Thank you, Beverly. Margaret Lee. Margaret has transitioned to our music director as of July 1st. She grew up at Bucksmont, has been our accompanist twice, and was our associate music director last year. We are excited for her music ministry to continue to evolve with us. Welcome, Margaret. John Hook has become our associate music director as of July 1st. John has been making music at Bucksmont for more than 40 years and part of creating our music program for more than 30. We will honor his music ministry with us on Sunday, November 5th, when we celebrate his retirement. Welcome back, John. And for those that don't know me, if you are here for the first time, I'm Reverend Kevin Jago. I am Bucksmont's minister, and this is the beginning of my 6th year with Bucksmont.
Gathering. It's so nice to see faces I haven't seen in a couple months. We're going to do an unusual prelude today. You know I love to get you guys singing, so you're going to learn a new song, which we're going to sing for prelude today. We'll do call and answer. John will help you, and I'll sing the call. So you can stay in your seats for now. When we get it learned, we'll all stand up and sing with joy. All right, are you ready? Oh, I forgot to get a pitch. Excuse me.
Just make one up, Mark.
Well, I could probably get it, but just in case. All right, you ready? We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. It may feel like a long time. But I know it's gonna be alright. Alright, let's do that when I get the words wrong. Sorry. I know it's gonna. Wait. I know it's gonna be. That's still not right. Hang on. Just let me do it in my head. But it's gonna be alright. Sorry, 'cause we've already started to sing. All right, again, one more call. We are going to a place where music falls and fills up everything. It may feel like a long time. it's gonna be all right, 'cause we've already started to sing. Yeah.
Watch as we practice imperfection, but doing things that are wonderful indeed nonetheless. Every week that's what we do. As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday, and those who may be watching months from now. We are joined together for worship across both space and time. This is a free, creedless religious congregation in the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship. We join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin or your country of origin, no matter your gender expression or gender identity, whatever your age, however you define family, wherever you are at this time, and whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. We do so today with words from Manish Mishra Marzetti. Between rocking the boat and sitting down, between stirring things up and peaceable going along, we find ourselves here in community, each called from many different journeys, many different life paths onto this river road. Some are here because the rocking of the boat has been too much tumult, too much uncertainty, too much pain. Some are here with questions about where the boat is going, how best to steer it, where the journey ends. Others are here as lovers of the journey, lovers of life itself, here in front, beside, behind, each a passenger, each a captain, doing the best we can. Rest here in your boat with me, the river calls. Listen to how I flow, the sound of life coursing all around you. Let the current hold you, let the current guide you. The river that gently flows through your soul whispers, "Come, let us worship." Please light your chalice at home. Our common chalice is now lit.
Our opening hymn is number 360. Here we have gathered. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing.
Here
Today we mark the beginning of our program year with a Unitarian Universalist ritual called the water ceremony, where we symbolically begin again as a community. At this time, I invite those at home to get yourself water and a bowl if you would like to participate in our water ceremony from there. This morning, we recognize the gathering together of our congregation, people new to us and longtime friends, those who gather with us online, those who have traveled near and far, those who may be returning after a pause, those new to our community, and those who have been here every week or most weeks for the summer months too. We honor the many tributaries that create the river that meets here, next to the Little Neshaminy Creek, just outside our doors. We do so through a water ceremony that traces its origins to a ceremony in 1980 at the Women and Religion Continental Convocation of Unitarian Universalists in East Lansing, Michigan. We've never been known for short titles to things. There, two female lay leaders, Carolyn McDade and Lucille Shuck Longview, began what has become a cherished tradition in many of our congregations. We honor them and the many women who have added to the richness of our living tradition with our own water ceremony today. The waters we will gather will renew our community waters for this coming program year. These are the waters that hold our joys and sorrows from spring until fall, and it becomes the water that we use in rites of passage, like baby blessings. In this community, it is we who make our gatherings holy, and it is our community that blesses the important moments in our lives. In a moment, we will gather the waters, but let me share a bit about the 4 stations we've set up to receive your water. And if you did not bring water, know that there is magic water at each that can be from anywhere. The front bowl on the left side of the room holds a small amount of water from the Little Neshaminy Creek, which flows near the place we have gathered for decades. This is the water of healers who are called to help one another and to help the earth itself. We recognize that we are part of a world larger than our congregation, a place that holds all of us and keeps us interconnected. And we know the challenge of things out of balance with the larger world, the danger of rising water, and the need to be in better relationship with that which surrounds us. If you are participating at home, add a bit of water to your bowl for the present. In a moment, those toward the front of the room on this side will be invited to process to this bowl and add your water, then return to your seats. The front bowl on the right side of the room holds a small amount of water for those who were here before. This is the water of memories, the water that remembers where we have been. This is the water of the leaders who made this place possible for us to find when our time came. These waters hold all the joys and sorrows shared, the past baby blessings, and water shared at past water ceremonies. If you are participating at home, add a bit of water to your bowl for the past. In a moment, those toward the front of the room on this side will be invited forward to process up to this bowl, add your water, and return to your seats. The bowl at the back of the room on the right side is for our community that is online. This is the water of calling that embraces us no matter where we are and reminds us where home truly is. Over the past 2 days, members stopped by our community altar outside the main entrance of our building. They added waters to our bowl, waters from home, from important places in their lives, from places visited, and from places imagined. And yesterday the clouds themselves and this morning added rainwater too. If you are participating at home, add a bit of water to your bowl for home and community. In a moment, those toward the back of the room on this side will be invited to process back to the bowl, add your water, and then return to your seats. The back bowl on the left side of the room, near our tree, is for those who do not yet know, who we do not yet know, and are not present with us yet today. This is the water of travelers who journey far from here and who make their way back. We begin again each year, not knowing where the journey will take us, and not knowing who will join us along the way. And yet we begin that journey together each fall, knowing that we will be better for having moved along the path. If you are participating at home, add a bit of water to your bowl for the future. In a moment, those toward the back of the room on this side will be invited to process back to this bowl, add your water, and then return to your seats. Now let us begin to gather the waters of our community. We'll have Ed do the first one. Add your water. Yep, add your water. We add the waters of traveling and those we have yet to meet to our collective waters. We add the waters of calling and our online community to our collective waters. We add the waters of leading and legacy to our collective waters. These three sources are now added to the waters of healing and of the Little Neshaminy Creek, becoming our new and renewed community waters. Together, these four sources of water are joined as we ourselves are joined together, no matter the distance. Like flowing water out from one source, it finds its way into each of our homes, into all of our lives. Throughout the year, this water, made special and holy by our collective intentions, will be used for baby dedications and any community rituals we hold. And the waters you have made special and holy at home can be used in any way you'd like, or they can be taken outside and returned to the earth to become again part of the cycle that connects each to all. In the spirit of community, we collectively bless these waters. Amen and blessed be.
And now everybody's going to get to help sing the response, so please rise in body or spirit, and we will sing Peace is Flowing Like a River.
Liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenanted community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of September, we are sharing with Jack and Rose Marie Sherber Memorial Immigrant Scholarship. Jack and Rose Mary were longtime members of Bucksmont UU. Both were active in peace and justice and very supportive of immigrants. We award scholarships to deserving immigrant students at Bucks County Community College annually. We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write a check out to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate online now or at the end of worship service. Or you may place your donation in one of the baskets as they are passed. We will now receive the morning offering. Our community continues to grow and thrive due to generous donations of both time and money. For the many ways that you contribute and how it sustains this fellowship, we are truly grateful. The morning's reading is The Part That Is Not Water by Reverend Teresa Soto. The parts of clouds that is not water are pieces so tiny that no human eye can see them. They float so fast and easily that weather scientists don't identify them as aerosols. Don't fall asleep because I said a science thing. I want you to remember that all around you, dust, atoms, tardigrades, and other tiny things that hold the world together are doing dances for you. Without the tiniest of dust specks in perfectly clear air, a cloud would struggle to ever form, which is true of anything that you would want to grow. It must start small. There are people who would tell you that this chain reaction of events is one on which everything for them rises and falls. The smallest dust, the cloud, the rain, allows the earth to drink, to grow our food, to feed an ecosystem, to fill the rivers and lakes from which we drink. The part that is not water is the tiniest dot of dust. On this small and humble thing, we find that everything does rest.
Where gentle tides go rolling by along the sea salt strand, the colors blend and roll as one together in the sand. In many ways, these opening lyrics from our anthem sum up what we are here to do today. We are here to recognize the blending together of our lives and the beginning again of a community life that we co-create each year. We often focus on the water part of this annual ceremony, which makes sense. It is the central part of the ritual we have inherited and adapted over time. We people are represented symbolically in the water, and humans are indeed made up mostly of water, so the symbol holds as a good stand-in for this ritual, and is perhaps why this element is so important in religious traditions the world over. Water is the source of life. It can purify, and it is precious when we do not have easy access to it in drinkable form. But what about the parts that aren't water? The sand, the rest of our bodies, the parts of community that hold us together, the glass bowls in the case of our ceremony that keep the water together and allow it to join from many sources into one. The relationships between people are as important as the people themselves showing up. Those ephemeral pieces that keep us connected or that begin to connect us to a new group of people when we wash up on shore somewhere new. I don't know that relationships would take up much physical space in a bowl, but they are why this place exists. They are what caused the bowls to be here and the waters to be poured into them in the first place. Reverend Soto's words help us remember the imperceivably small parts that make clouds possible, that make rain possible, that make life possible. Yes, the water matters a great deal, but so do the tiny grains of sand, of dust, and the tardigrades. Now, if you don't know what tardigrades are, I too went on a Wikipedia search last night. Tardigrades are tiny, tiny organisms that have 8 legs and are somewhere between 1/10 of a millimeter to just over 1 millimeter in size, depending on the species. They are known by the more common and adorable names of water bears or moss piglets. All true, according to Wikipedia. They can live in almost any environment on the planet and have survived exposure to outer space. Without water, they shrivel up and can be brought back to life over 30 years later when the water returns. If you have water, you likely have water bears too, up to 95,000 per gallon of water. It is thought that they might be how life spread on this planet and were among the first creatures to leave the oceans for the land. They also provide one of the first links of the food chain wherever they are. Without these tiniest of creatures, all the life on land wouldn't be here or would look quite different than it does. The dust helps the clouds form, and the tardigrades help ecosystems form. Things become complex over time, building on the small and more humble beginnings. Communities form from simpler parts too. A handshake, a simple greeting, person by person. We don't often start with a whole community around us. We may bring our family. We may have a lead on where a likely ready-formed place is. But they start off simply, and they are maintained through the simple forms of welcome and return. We might tell ourselves grander stories about why we do things, but I believe we do not come here for those big reasons, at least not to start. The pursuit of a new religious identity, to join together in the work of justice, to be a beacon of liberal religious spirituality for the larger geographic area, to be transformed in some way. These things come about later, in small ways, and sometimes even in big, grand ones. But the core pieces are more like dust and tardigrades. They create the components, along with elements like water, to make bigger things possible. Those motives, those pieces that set chain reactions in motion, are handshakes, hugs, and hellos. the want of friends, the seeking of a place to belong, smiles when we have them, tears when we need to share those, a cup of coffee, a glass of water, tardigrades and all, a donut or something more healthy to nourish our bodies as we get to know someone new or continue friendships that have lasted lifetimes. The water we gather today is a reminder about the parts that are not water. Those parts make up people who change, a community that changes year by year. We are not the same as when I found myself newly among you 5 years ago. I'm grayer than I was then. Our sanctuary has transformed in numerous ways. How we gather and the world we gather within are unimaginably different too, half a decade later. The people that make up this place have changed. Individually, none of us remain as we were. And collectively, some who were here are no longer. Some have found us over time. Some are just beginning to discover this place and these people. What hasn't changed are the core pieces of why we gather and how we begin again. Humble things, but things that make the radical possible. A place that welcomes you over and over again. A place where your sexuality, your gender, your age, your race, your belief or disbelief in deities, and your answer to what comes next after this life are not what determine whether you belong here. Your belonging is about how you practice humanity, how we connect with each other across these differences. The rest is water, sometimes life-giving, sometimes life-changing. May we keep practicing what it means to love, what it means to be the parts that are not water, but make so much possible. So may it be.
We're going to be singing Spirit of Life, which was also written by Carolyn McDade, who Kevin mentioned in the sermon, helped found the water ceremony. She was an important songwriter for the women's spirit movement throughout the United States, both UU and Christian. Please rise and body your spirit, and let us sing Spirit of Life. We'll go through the words twice.
Sing in my
Let us now enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries, connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life of which we are each but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. We remember the power of water to give life, and we remember our obligation to care for our world so that it remains life-giving. From my colleague, the Reverend Molly Gordon, we gather together this morning tenderly, like drops of dew on a leaf of grass, hopefully, like gathered raindrops in a cloud, gleefully, like water rushing in a stream to the sea, deeply, like groundwater pulled up from a well. We gather from every direction for another year of growth and depth, another year of companionship and hope, another year of learning to love this world. We gather like the water that joins us across all of creation, the water that connects us within and without, merging and flowing across the entire world. This morning, we call our attention to threshold moments, the places where land and water meet, times of transition filled with joy and lament both, times when we remember those who are no longer with us and celebrate those who have just arrived. There is power as we approach thresholds. Some we run toward, and others we wish we could put off. We join together on the cusp of a new program year. There can be joy in change, in the new. We also hold in our hearts the thresholds that present danger to people, times of surgery, times of loss, and times of new beginnings we did not choose and need to begin without a clear path forward. There can be sorrow in transformation, too. May our relationships be the bridges that span the thresholds. May we employ the humble tools of community creation. May the power of our living tradition call us to create connection and resist walls of division, to remember the pain of injustice in order to create a world where it is only memory. Our lives, our actions are the threads that make up the bridges we wish for. Our relationships are what hold the whole world together, the parts that are not water. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our actions contain the promise of hope and the commitment to justice. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. As part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both the sorrows and the joys in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn our attention to one another. We hold each and all in our compassionate thoughts and the prayers of our hearts. This morning, we are dropping stones in water, The bowl includes some of the water we gathered as a community back in September, and obviously includes all of the water we gathered together today, too. So it contains the love of our congregation surrounding each joy or sorrow. As we add the stones to the bowl, the bowl of water, our experiences are given weight and depth. We add a piece of our own stories to the collective waters of this community, a place that also holds the memories of those who have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like held by our caring community, please text the number that is in the chat box and on the sanctuary screens. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you join us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Charlotte will drop a stone on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your name with what you share. And we will now add a final stone for all the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and deep within our hearts. With stones gathered and remembrances shared, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning and the many, many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Our closing hymn is a favorite one across the nation as well as here. Please rise in body or spirit and let us sing hymn 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Our chalice extinguishing words this morning are from Kaylee Rice. It starts with a drop, then a trickle. A burble, a rush of water, bubbling towards its destination. And finally, the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today, you brought water, poured it into a common bowl. Though our experiences have differed, these waters mingle, signifying our common humanity. Today, you came and shared in this sacred community. May you depart the sacred space, hearts filled with hope for new beginnings, a fresh start. Go forth, but return to this community, where rivers of tears may be shed, where dry souls are watered, where your joy bubbles, where your life cup overflows, where deep in your spirit you have found in this place a home. All rivers run to the sea.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create this community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of return. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.